Ranking Member Graves, Chairwoman Titus, Congresswoman Miller, on behalf of Ranking Member Meadows and members of the subcommittee, it's a pleasure and a privilege to appear before you today to testify on behalf of the Department of Commerce's Economic Development Administration. I bring greetings on behalf of Assistant Secretary Fleming, who sends his regards. EDA welcomes this hearing as an opportunity to discuss our role in post-disaster long-term recovery efforts in communities hard hit by disasters. Restoring economic prosperity to all parts of this great nation is an important priority of the administration. A strong economy is critical to helping communities hit by natural disasters to get back on their feet. EDA is presently operating under the Continuing Appropriations Act of 2020 while concurrently implementing $1.2 billion in disaster supplemental funding provided by the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2018 and the Disaster Relief Act of 2019. Shortly after Congress appropriated the first $600 million in supplemental funds to EDA for disasters occurring in calendar year 2017, EDA took a number of proactive steps to effectively manage the significant increase in funding. One important step was the establishment of 4 disaster supplemental implementation teams to maintain focused, well-coordinated oversight and administration of the supplemental funding. The teams include communications, data and tools, coordination and operations, and hiring and training. These teams have played a critical role in enabling the agency to manage the substantial increase in workload while mitigating agency risk. And we are currently updating this model with lessons learned over the last year and a half, making us even more effective with the new disaster supplemental Congress provided in June of 2019 for calendar year 2018 disasters and 2019 floods and tornadoes. EDA's role in disaster recovery is to facilitate the timely and effective delivery of federal economic development assistance to support long-term community economic recovery through planning and project implementation, redevelopment, and resiliency. EDA coordinates regional disaster recovery efforts in partnership with an extensive network of 392 economic development districts, 52 tribal partnership planning organizations, 64 university centers, and other partners in impacted areas. In FY 2018, EDA made $587 million available to eligible grantees in communities where the President declared a major disaster under the Stafford Act as a result of Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, Maria, wildfires, and other natural disasters in 2017. Under a Notice of Funding Opportunity published in April of 2018, EDA awarded disaster grants through the agency's Economic Adjustment Assistance Program. This program is EDA's most flexible tool and allows the agency to make awards that support a wide range of construction and non-construction activities in areas that experience sudden and severe economic dislocation, as happens with a major disaster. As of September 30, 2019, EDA has obligated $463 million, or 79% of its $587 million in programmatic FY18 disaster supplemental funding, in some 174 awards to communities across the country. EDA is also actively evaluating an additional 38 proposals and applications, which, if funded, would account for 100% of EDA's FY18 disaster supplemental appropriation. EDA, on behalf of the Department of Commerce, also plays a critical role as the designated coordinating agency of the Economic Recovery Support Function under the federal government's National Disaster Recovery Framework. In this capacity, EDA provides leadership and coordination for primary and support agencies, which share a role in the provision of grants, loans, training, and other forms of assistance to support economic recovery efforts in disaster-impacted communities and regions. An important new tool in EDA's disaster recovery toolbox is Opportunity Zones. As you know, Opportunity Zones were created under the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act to stimulate economic development and job creation by incentivizing long-term investments in disadvantaged areas across the country. As the agency whose principal role is to make investments in economically distressed communities to create jobs, foster resiliency, and accelerate long-term growth, the Opportunity Zone initiative fits hand in glove with EDA's mission. As such, EDA has been working to promote Opportunity Zone investments across the country and is making grants in Opportunity Zones in communities impacted by natural disasters. In furtherance of this new tool, EDA has made public works and economic adjustment projects in Opportunity Zones eligible for EDA assistance as a special need criteria under its regular programs, and added Opportunity Zones as one of our 5 investment priorities. Members of the subcommittee, thank you for the opportunity to address EDA's efforts to enhance global competitiveness of America's regions. I'm proud of the agency's long history and its critical role in supporting communities needing to make long-term investments following natural disasters. I look forward to answering any questions that you may have.
Thank you very much. Mr. Curry?
Thank you, Chairman Titus, DeFazio, Ranking Members Miller and Graves. It's an honor to be here today to talk about GAO's work on disaster recovery.